This week we continue our Every Ship series with Season 3 of the Clone Wars. Can you believe I originally wanted to put the Clone Wars movie and the first 3 seasons all in one video? I think it'd be 45 minutes long and I'd probably still be working on it. Ugh. Anyway, I'm Joey from Radio Free Coruscant and this is Every Ship and Vehicle in the Clone Wars Season 3. Episode 1, Clone Cadets. In the intro, we see a squadron of V-19 Torrent starfighters, a Delta-7B Aether Sprite interceptor, 2 Venator-class star destroyers, 6 Munificent-class light frigates, and 2 Lucrehulk-class battleships. Later, we see 3 LAATI gunships, and at the end of the episode, the newly minted clone troopers board an Acclamator-class assault ship. Episode 2, ARC Troopers. In Episode 2, we see a Recusant-class light destroyer, 3 Munificents, and a Venator in the intro. Later, we also see a Providence-class dreadnought, a Trident-class assault ship, and an Acclamator. In the hangar on Camino, we also see the Lats from the previous episode. The Separatist ships attack the Republic blockade, where we also find an Arquitans-class light cruiser. A squadron of Y-Wings and a Delta-7B launch from Tipoca City, and the Republic fleet launches a squadron of ARC-170 starfighters and V-19s as well. Obi-Wan goes to investigate fallen wreckage in a Kaminoan KE-UW-33 submarine, and much later, General Grievous steals a Kaminoan flight pod. Episode 3, Supply Lines. In the intro, we see C-9979 landing craft, Hyena droid bombers, Lucrehulks, Munificents, AATs, and ATTEs. We also see a Venator. Later, we see the Tantive 4, a CR-90 corvette. After that, we see a Separatist fleet which adds a Providence and a squadron of Vulture droids to the list. Later, we see an LAAT, several Toydarian land speeders, and several Pelta-class frigates. Finally, at the end of the episode, the Peltas deliver relief supplies in Republic escape pods. Episode 4, Sphere of Influence. In this episode, we see a Lucrehulk, a fleet of Munificents, Senate hoverpods, and a Naboo J-type diplomatic barge, a DC-0052 intergalactic speeder, a T-6 Jedi shuttle, and a Rainhawk-class transport. Episode 5, Corruption. In Episode 5, we see Senate hoverpods, a Delta-7B, Padme's J-type barge, an Ak-Ajor shuttle, a Coruscant freighter, and an unidentified freighter. We also see Mandalorian hover taxis, Burk Galore air speeders, and a Shekelesh-class freight gunship. Episode 6, The Academy. We see many of the previous episode's ships throughout this episode. We also see an Eta-class ambassadorial shuttle. Episode 7, Assassin. In Episode 7, we see a new class attack shuttle, a Venator, a DC-0052 speeder, Padme's barge, and a prison repulsor platform. Episode 8, Evil Plans. In the intro, we see a Bantha II class cargo skiff, a Venator, a GS-100 salvage ship, a Coruscant freighter, a few Charger C-70 cruisers, and a Rogue-class Porax-38 starfighter. Later, we see a Comfort Ride passenger airspeeder and an RGC-16 airspeeder. Episode 9, Hunt for Zero. In this episode, we see Comfort Ride airspeeders, an Eta-class shuttle, a Pongita-class swamp speeder, and later Cad Bane's Porax-38, the Xanadu Blood. Episode 10, Heroes on Both Sides. First, we see a frequently reused shot of several Venators and Acclimators. We also see Senate hoverpods, vulture droids, a Gozanti freighter, a Lucrehulk, Munificent, Recusant, and Providence, a Taylander shuttle, numerous Sheathipede shuttles, and an H-2 executive shuttle. Much later, we also see an RGC-16 airspeeder. Episode 11, Pursuit of Peace. In Episode 11, we see Senate hoverpods again, and later a BARC speeder bike, an RGC-16, numerous comfort rides, and various other air speeders, including a Viper speeder bike and Panther police interceptor. We also see Bail Organa's XJ2 air speeder and a 6B hover train. Episode 12, Night Sisters. In the intro, we see V-19s, ARC-170s, Acclimators, Venators, Munificents, a Providence, a Recusant, Droid Tri-Fighters, and a Ginivex-class fan-blade starfighter. Anakin and Obi-Wan also join the battle in their Delta-7B interceptors, and later a squadron of Y-Wings and Hyena bombers do as well. Later still, a GS-100 salvage ship surveys the wreckage of the battle, which Asajj Ventress steals. Episode 13, Monster. We see Count Dooku's Punwarka 116 class sloop, a Ubrikian Night Sister speeder, and a Sheathipede shuttle. Episode 14, Witches of the Mist. In Episode 14, we see a new class attack shuttle, a T-6 shuttle, Dooku's Solar Sailor, a Peregrine-class star yacht, and a Providence-class dreadnought. Episode 15. In this episode, we see an Eta-class shuttle and a Venator. While it is not, strictly speaking, a ship or vehicle, we also see the Mortis monolith. Episode 16, Altar of Mortis. The only ship in this episode is the Eta-class shuttle. Episode 17, Ghosts of Mortis. This episode has the Eta again and Anakin's Venator. Episode 18, The Citadel. In Episode 18, we see a Venator, a Munificent, Hyena droid bombers, 2 LAATs, a Sheathipede Type B shuttle, Plo Koon's Delta-7B, a Providence dreadnought, and a Gozanti. Episode 19, Counterattack. In addition to the previous episode's ships, we also see STAP speeders. Episode 20, Citadel Rescue. In this episode, we see a fleet of Venators, as well as vulture droids, a Lucrehulk, a Providence, and several Munificents. We also see numerous more STAPs. When the Republic fleet arrives, it launches several Delta-7Bs, squadrons of ARC-170s, and LAAT space gun-ships. Finally, at the end of the episode, Tarkin boards a Util 313 shuttle bus. Episode 21, Padawan Lost. Episode 21 begins with a major space battle consisting of a Venator, Delta-7Bs, V-19s, LAATs, vulture droids, and Munificents. On the ground, we see ATTEs, an HAVW A6 Juggernaut, and a C-9979 landing craft. Ahsoka is kidnapped and taken aboard an HCT-2001 Dragonboat-class Ryugo 905 freighter named the Verminthrax. Later, we see a Ubrikian floating fortress and several MSP-80 Pteropter hoverpods. Episode 22. In the final episode, we see several of the ships from the previous episode, as well as an SS-54 assault ship, the Halo. And that's every ship and vehicle in the Clone Wars Season 3. Please let me know in the comments which episode and new ship were your favorite. You can also like the video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and all that stuff. I'll see you next time. RFC, out.